Okay, all right. So today we are going to go over Unit 8, Lesson 2, which is reflections. Now, before I start, I just want to tell you, don't be frightened by this image of me. I'm doing that as part of the lesson. Okay, all right. So what are we doing here? So reflections on the coordinate plane is like using a mirror, with the mirror being the x or y axis. So let me give you an analogy, right? So if you look at the mirror in the morning, right? Let's just say, okay, I'll use this as an example. Let's say you part your hair to the left like I do, right? As you can see in this picture. If you part your hair to the left and you're looking at the mirror, which way would your hair go in the mirror? Yeah, it would go to the right, right? So the mirror doesn't tell you exactly what you look like as you will appear on a picture or to other people, but it shows you it as a reflection. So let me make another analogy this way. So if I were to take this picture, right, and I were to make a mirror image of myself, the image will look something like this, right? So this is a flip. So again, hold on, let me do this. Right? So let me make a clone of this. How can I clone this? Okay, it doesn't let me. Oh, there we go. Right? So again, if I were to show you this picture like so, and I were to flip this original picture over, to flip it around, I would look like this, right? Like it wouldn't give me exact duplicate of the picture. So in a way then, reflections is like using a mirror. It is flipping over with the mirror being either the x-axis acting as the mirror or the y-axis acting as the mirror. So with that said, let me just show you an example and you'll know what I'm talking about. So looking at the first example here, right? The point A is at 4, 3. So let me plot that first. 4 over, 3 up. So if I have to reflect this over the x-axis, right, which is right here, that means I'm gonna flip this point over the x-axis. So ignoring the y, let's say I got just a line here for the x-axis horizontally. If I flip it over, where would this point be? Where would point A end up? So to do that, I'm gonna count. So how many points are there to the x-axis itself? 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go 3. 1, 2, 3, right here. So this is where A is. Now, since this is point A, this cannot be point A. So in math, when we do reflections, there's a notation that we use. We call this A prime. And the way we say A prime symbolically is to put a little apostrophe right above the A. So if A was at 4, 3, A prime would be at 4, negative 3. Got that? Okay, all right. Now, let's try another example. Let me use a different color. So we're going to use, again, point A, which is 4, 3. And now we're going to, instead of flipping it over the x-axis, which is acting as the mirror, we're going to use the y-axis, the vertical line acting as the mirror. So that means we're going to flip it over this way, right? This one, we flip it underneath, right? Up, down. Here, we're going to flip side to side. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I got to go 4 spots over to hit the y-axis. So I'm going to go 4 spots over. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is A prime. No, sorry, this is just A. That's 4, 3. So if I go over 4 this way, this is A prime. Now, where is A prime? This is -4, +3. And that's how you reflect over the x and the y axis. Okay, now having said that, so I don't know, so one of the things that I want you to understand then is just like the last lesson 1, when I gave you a shortcut. So instead of, remember, like for the distance between 2 points, instead of counting, there was a shortcut, right? There's a shortcut too. I want to see if you notice. So take a moment, look at this. What do you notice is if there's a pattern, if at all, to reflection. Take a look. So when we reflect over the x-axis, what happened here? Between this and this, right? When you reflect over the y-axis, right? What happens here? From right to left. What do you notice? Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. So if you reflect over the x-axis, the y value becomes its opposite. So the x stays the same, the y goes to its opposite number. So from 3, it would become a -3. On the other hand, when you flip over the y-axis, guess who stays the same? Yeah, the y value, right? Notice how the 3 stays the same, but what happened to the x? It went from 4 to -4. It becomes its own opposite value. So write this down then. So copy this down. Therefore, the reflection of the point xy across x-axis is x negative y. So one way to help you remember this is x-axis, the y changes. When you reflect across the y-axis, the x changes. Okay, so copy this down right quick. You can pause it right now if you want to. Okay, all right. So knowing that, so now we're not just plotting points because we actually have to like graph shapes. All right. So let's graph this. Okay. We'll do these together. All right. Or you can just pause and try it on your own and see whether or not you got it. Okay. So A is -2, 1. So I'm going to plot a triangle. So this is A. All right. 1, 4. That's B. And C is 3, 2. So here I got my first triangle. Now I'm gonna try to be professional and use a ruler if I could find it. Where's the ruler? All right. Where is the ruler? It's up there, isn't it? Yep. All right. Let me bring the ruler down. So if you have a ruler at home, use a ruler. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna connect the points. So let's say, maybe I should use a different color. Let me use a different color so you guys can see the point. Maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. So let me connect the third side. How should I do this? So here we have a triangle ABC. Oops, if I got the label C. Okay, now I'm gonna label the points too on the triangle. So I'm gonna go -2, 1. I'm gonna do 1, 4. I'm gonna do 3, 2. Okay, now I gotta reflect it over the x-axis. So that means this triangle, I'm gonna flip it entirely upside down. Now it would be a bit of a cheating if I just take a picture of this and flip it upside down. It's not fair to you guys. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. Okay, we'll do it together. Let's see, what should I, oh, I got it. This is a good idea. I will plot the points in the opposite color so you guys can just have some, contrast. So A, right now, I'm reflecting over the x-axis. That means the y is gonna change. So what does that mean? There'll be -2, -1, right here. Oops. That was not good. So this will be -2, -1. That's point A. I'll put A here. All right. A prime, actually. Okay. And then for B, 1, 4 now becomes what? Yeah, 1, -4. So 1, -4. So this is B prime. I should make the pen thinner, actually. Okay. And lastly, 3, 2 becomes what? 3, -2. That's C prime. All right. And then what I'll do is I'll connect this. So connect A to B, like so. Oh, yeah, the lights just went off. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Now, hopefully you at home can do this slightly faster because the technology takes some time to use, typically. So, all right, last slide. So here we have a triangle. I'm not sure it was a good idea to use these opposite colors, but you can see there are two different triangles, right? So here we have triangle ABC. Here we have triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, where the values are different. As a matter of fact, right? A is -2, -1. B is 1, -4, and C is 3, -2. Okay. Now, moving over here, if you want, you can try this one on your own on a piece of graph paper. Okay, so how do you do this? Let me use a different color. I'll use blue. Yeah, all right. So D is 1, 3. So let's plot that point first. E is 5, 2. And then F is 4, -1. So there's a triangle. So let me connect the dots. I'll use red this time. And then, let's see, let's connect these points. Okay. And then the last side for side DE, what's going on here? There we go. All right. So these are the three. Now again, let me write down the coordinates. All right, because it's you know, I mean, actually you probably don't need to. You probably don't need to, because it actually ends up cluttering the graph more than helping sometimes. So let's see. Okay. All right. So having said that, D is 1, 3. So I'll write the D prime here. What's D prime then? Now remember, we're reflecting over the y-axis. So who changes? Yeah, the x value. So instead of 1, 3, now it's -1, 3. I'll do the same for E. E prime, instead of 5, 2 is -5, 2. And lastly, for F prime, is instead of 4, 1, is -4, -1. Okay, so let's grab those. Let's see. -1, 3. So that's D prime. And then E is -5, 2. E prime, and then -4, -1. What is that? F prime. Okay. And so let me connect those again with a blue pen. All right. Let's see. All right, there we go. So here we got the triangle D prime, E prime, F prime. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's how you do it, basically. All right, notice, right? This triangle, when you flip over the x-axis, it looks like that down here. And whereas for this original triangle, when you flip over the y-axis, it flipped over like this. Okay? All right, let's see what else. All right, so why don't you guys try these, and I got an extra question for you. All right, okay, so 1, reflect -3 or -2 over the x-axis. Now, you can draw it yourself. I'll just go ahead and tell you what G prime should be. All right, so G prime over the x-axis. So which one do you have to change? Right, the y, right? So that's -3, +2. What about H? H prime over the y-axis. So you change this one. So what does -3 turn into? That's right, +3. All right, and last one. So this one, we'll do it. All right, I'll let you graph it though, because I don't want to take up that much more time. So 4, -2 is this one here. That's P. 5, -5 is down here. That's R. S is 1, -3. So here's the triangle. I'm going to do it a quick way. All right, it's okay. All right, so flip that over. What would that look like? What would P prime look like at y-axis, right? So over the y-axis. So this is, oops, -4, 2. So this is right, because if you flip it over the y-axis, the x changes. So -4, -2. R prime is -5, -5. And S prime is what? -1, -3. So there you have it. So you plot those points down and you'll get your triangle, okay? Now try this extra question here. So here it says the shape above has the following coordinates. So A is 0, -3. So this is A, right? B is -9, 0. C is -6, -9. And D is -1, -10. So reflect the shape over the x-axis. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Yeah, all the points change. So let me A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, right? What would they look like? All right, let's see. Over the x-axis, so the y changes. Because when you flip this shape over, actually, I don't want to do it. All right, so if I flip this over, the shape will be somewhere around up here, right, over the x-axis. So if the x-axis is being is the mirror, so to speak, the y changes. Now, -9, 0 is still -9, 0. Okay, I'm hoping you realize that. -6, -9, -6, +9, and lastly, -1, +10. So you grab that and you'll have it. Okay, all right, great. How long was that? Okay, 18 minutes, yeah. All right, that's plenty long. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. OMG, that was so good.